Welcome to the 9th episode of Nordic Sports News Podcast, the world's first cross-country ski and biathlon podcast, with daily news from around the globe. First news of the day. Following his 2 gum operations, Bolshunov, the world number 1, according to his coach, resumed training very slowly. After more than 15 days of break, which followed his second operation, total removal of a cyst, Alexander Bolshunov finally resumed his training, on the snow of Muonio, Finland. The conditions are almost wintry with a good quantity of fresh snow covering all the slopes of this immense ski area. Alexander is still following an individual program, because of the consequences of his operations, that do not allow for a full training. Says his trainer Yuri Borodovko on Match TV. His sessions are quieter and we notice that he lost his strength during the whole time he was at rest. We will also have to come back to the technical side, but it will be for later. We take things in the right order and above all we will not rush anything. We will listen to his body and follow the recommendations of the doctors. As soon as the scars are gone, we can work hard. For the moment, it's quiet, no pressure, no stress. Alexander is just taking advantage of the conditions, said Borodovko. Second news of the day. After a difficult winter in 2021, Maiken Caspersen-Falla, Olympic sprint champion, has asked many questions about the rest of her career. Falla, 31, has one of the finest records of cross-country skiers in activity. Olympic sprint champion in 2014, silver medalist in 2018, double world champion in 2017 and 2019, 3 times team title, 3 small globes in the discipline, 21 wins and 53 podiums. So as much to tell you that the Norwegian had a very bad experience in her last season, where she was never able to evolve at her level, except during the Worlds. Her pride and determination allowed her to come and get a new individual silver medal in the sprint. But the season still stuck in her throat. In the spring I settled down and wondered for a long time if it was worth it to continue. Why will I make so much sacrifice and effort for so little results? I couldn't be satisfied with 5 beautiful days in the winter, she admits to the NRK. While on the verge of early retirement, Maiken Caspersen-Falla also discusses all this with her coaches. And little by little they succeeded in convincing her to continue. When you've been with the national team for over 10 years and suddenly your body is not functioning as well, it's not easy to accept. So you look at something else, it's normal, adds Ole Morten Iversen, national team boss. 6 months later Falla seems to have regained enthusiasm after a preparation adapted to her demands. She is probably not as fit as she was a few years ago, but her level should improve with the races, concluded her trainer. Third news of the day. Next winter, Quentin Fillon-Maillet will be fighting with Johannes Thingsbo for the big crystal globe in biathlon. In any case, this is what the Ukrainian Dmytro Pidruchnyi thinks. In a lengthy interview with online media Obozrebitel, Ukrainian biathlete Dmytro Pidruchnyi explained that he strongly believes in Quentin Fillon-Maillet to compete against Johannes Thingsbo next season. I already thought that he would fight it last year by taking the place of Martin Fourcade, indicates the 2019 Pursuit world champion. But he was unstable in shooting and that didn't allow him to compete with Johannes all season. Finally third in the general classification for the 3rd winter in a row, Fillon-Maillet remains the favorite for the Ukrainian. This year, he will face the Norwegians, actually thinks Dmytro Pidruchnyi. In addition to Johannes Thingsbo, Quentin Fillon-Maillet, who told East Republican last week to aim again for world number 1, will face Johannes Dahl, Vidal Sjostad Christensen, Tarjei Bo and, above all, Sturla Holm Legriad. Fourth news of the day. As last spring, the Swedish biathlete Sebastian Samuelsson was angry with the organization of the Olympic Games in China, in Beijing, next February. Last May, Swedish biathlete Sebastian Samuelsson railed against the organization of the next Olympic Games in Beijing, China. I don't think we should have a big championship in this type of country, he talked at the time for SVT Sport. This Tuesday, to the TT press agency in remarks taken up by Sportblade, he declared that he did not wish to go to the Olympic Games in China, it does not rhyme with the Olympic values to go there, he explains. As in the spring, his compatriot Hanna Eberg is on the same wavelength. I would have preferred to play in the Olympic Games in another country, said the reigning Olympic individual champion. I have very little confidence in the International Olympic Committee, asserts Sebastian Samuelsson. Charlotte Kalla hopes for awareness. Cross-country skier Charlotte Kalla, a 9-time medalist at the Olympic Winter Games, hopes that this edition, organized in the Chinese capital, will put the media focus on the human rights violations. I see an opportunity to highlight these issues, she says. The 24th Olympic Winter Games in Beijing 2022 is scheduled for February 4 to 20. Fifth news of the day. Discover the calendar of the opening stage of the Biathlon World Cup, Scheduled from November 27 to December 5 in Östersund, Sweden. At the beginning of November, excitement is rising in the world of biathlon. We have just entered the home stretch of preparation for winter 2021-2022. The Italian team flew to its last training camp in Sweden, and the France team will travel to Norway on Thursday. Marked by the Beijing 2022 Olympic Games, the dazzling flagship of the season, the Biathlon World Cup will begin in 25 days in Östersund, Sweden, with the presence of the public. In the county of Jämtland, as in Kontiolahti, Finland, a year ago, 2 stages of the World Cup will be organized. The first weekend, an individual and a sprint will take place, and a sprint, pursuit and relay is scheduled for the first week of December. All that before the Great Biathlon Circus returns to Central Europe, for the stages of Hochfilzen, Austria, and then Annecy, Le Grand Bornand, France, scheduled before Christmas. Next, the schedule for the opening stages of the Östersund Biathlon World Cup. Saturday, November 27th. 11:45 a.m., individual women. 3 p.m., individual men. Sunday, November 28th. 11 a.m., women's sprint. 1:45 p.m., men's sprint. Thursday, December 2nd. 1:45 p.m., women's sprint. 4:30 p.m., men's sprint. Saturday, December 4th. 1 p.m., women's pursuit. 3:10 p.m., men's relay. Sunday, 5th of December. 12:35 p.m., women's relay. 3:15 p.m., men's pursuit. Now our 6th news of the day. Swiss Ski becomes owner of the Lenzerheide Stadium. The company Biathlon Arena Lenzerheide AG, owner of the Roland Arena in Lenzerheide, Switzerland, will join Swiss Ski on May 1, 2022. Established 6 years ago by Michael Hartwig, this structure has made it possible to develop Swiss biathlon and obtain the organization of the World Cup in 2023 and 2024, as well as the Worlds in 2025. Michael Hartwig and his team have laid a great foundation for the past few years. These foundations will allow the successful development of Biathlon Arena Lenzerheide AG, in continuity and the consequent further positioning of the Lenzerheide site as a performance center for the elite of Swiss biathlon, explains Bernhard Oreger, CEO of Swiss Ski, in a press release. We believe that the time has come to take the next step and hand over the keys to the arena to Swiss Ski, says Michael Hartwig, who will remain on the company board of directors after its sale next spring. And to wrap up our news today, we have our 7th news. Anton Babikov is said to be in good shape for the new biathlon winter season. While he will have to fight in a few days to win the last spot for the World Cup on the snow of Khanty-Mansiysk, Russia, the Russian biathlete Anton Babikov showed that he was in good shape yesterday morning. He won a training race organized in Aldan, in northeast Siberia, where Yuri Kaminsky's training group is currently in preparation. Author of a 9 out of 10 shots, he won the sprint with 1 second ahead of Edward Latipov and 25 seconds over Kirill Streltsov. Karim Khalili were 4th at 29 seconds. We're on the 21st day of training, the guys are tired, Kaminsky commented on Match TV. Training camp will end on Wednesday. And that's all for today, folks. Stay tuned and subscribe to our channels on YouTube, Spotify and Instagram. Just type Nordic Sports News on these platforms and access our content. Thank you so much and see you tomorrow in the next episode. Information credits for Nordic Mag, Match TV, NRK, SVT, Sportbladet, Obos Revitel, and Ski Nordique.